And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another D&D 5th Edition Star Wars campaign stream. I am your Dungeon Master and host, Ranger J 1999, and welcoming you to our D&D session. Glad to have you guys here on a Sunday. Hope everybody's well with everything going on in the world. So, hope you're being safe. So, sit back, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, grab whatever makes you happy, and we're going to rock and roll and have some fun playing Dungeons and Dragons Star Wars style. Good. That being said, let's let the players introduce themselves, and then we'll get into what happened previously. It's been a couple weeks, but we are back better than ever. Going to be playing for a bit and have some fun. It's what we do here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you like the content. Leave comments. We're always for constructive criticism, but of course, if you're an asshat, then I'll just delete your message. I don't care. So you have something great to say it. Even if it's negative, as long as it's done in the right way. But again, ask clownery leads to deletion. For I am the strong and powerful God of this world, YouTube included. Alright, that being said, let's let the players introduce themselves and their characters. We'll start with Tills.
What is happening? I play Cornputha Nunuku. He is a Chiss Deadeye Scout. I go pew pew.
All right. One of our newest members who's playing and part of the crew is the lovely Moth Kanata. Moth, who are you playing as?
I'm playing as Vadestra Luhu, and I'm a Zabrak Berserker lady.
That's and the lady. And I like Moth's background. It's the good Korban Sith world image. She's dark side like me. Both of us darken our souls. That's why Ma's my favorite. And we're both daywalkers, so we have that going for us. So we also have joining us today, we have Corinth. Corinth, introduce your character.
I am playing as Taurox, your Sith Sentinel.
He's not really your Sith Sentinel, he's just a Sith Sentinel. He doesn't give a shit about you.
I'm describing it.
So. Yeah. Joining us, we've got Devil's Treasure.
Hey guys, I'm playing as Jalothita, the Bith operative saboteur.
That's right. He plays an instrument and likes to blow shit up. Speaking of someone that likes to play an instrument, Johnny M is here. Johnny, who's your character?
I'm playing as Dr. Vornu Wizzy Ladurum, a Chiss female droid engineer and geologist.
An Ash Chaps enthusiast. Also joining us, we've got Finn, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman's here, the troll extraordinaire. Who are you playing as?
I am playing as a Twilight monk that is possessed by a Sith.
In the name of your possessed Twilight monk?
His name is constantly changing. His name is Darabit, but I believe he has been canonized to Darafin at this point.
Well, no, this is your nickname, so it's still Darafin. It's your original name, but everyone just calls it
Real name is Darabit, but you may hear him referred to as Darafin.
Yeah, Darafin, shut up. And last but not least, we've got Grim the Mechanic. Introduce your character, my friend.
What's up, guys? I'm playing as Osk 10, a Trandoshan Sith.
All right. And for those for D&D, this is a role-playing game which involves dice and chance as the DM. I am the man that controls the game. The players try to do stuff, and I introduce stuff to the players in this world of Star Wars. And we use dice and rules to play the game, and it's pretty simple. So hopefully you enjoy it. And with that, let's recap what happened last time. Last time, our epic evil heroes returned from their trek to bring back Osk, who had died previously when Korn's character and Osk had gone to the Sith homeworld of Korban, ancient homeworld of the Sith, and done their trial and failed miserably, turning out that they don't like to do evil stuff. They're nice. And then that led to them both being slaughtered. However, Finn's quick thinking with his character was able to go in and save one of them. Then they had to save Oz. They had to go find this Jedi healer, and they was able to bring Oz back. That being said, they went back to the homeworld of the Chiss homeworld, and met up with their leader, the Grand Marf, and she took a report from them. Then the Sith Master came in, trying to throw her weight around, and the Grand Moff wasn't having anything of it. Used her authority and promoted both Osk and Talrax to Sith Lord, which is equivalent to Jedi Knight in this campaign. So they are now Sith Lords. Everybody was pretty much promoted to level 9, and they were introduced to their new character, Moth's character, who has now joined the crew. And they have been given a mission of utmost importance, and that is to prove that one of the Grand Moths, and his name is Bicon, and it's spelled differently than how it's pronounced, but I did give them the information, and they are trying to prove that he is dealing in top secret information to other parties, some which the Chiss are not too happy about, mainly the New Galactic Republic. So their benefactors said basically that they had to prove this, and gave them the information that they needed, the basics of it, and said to do whatever was necessary, but left it to their discretion on how they are going to prove this, one way or the other, and to find out this information. So our heroes are now currently getting out. They've been re-outfitted and re-equipped, and have taken some time to heal up and get everything ready that they need. The two Sith Lords now have both gotten their lightsabers back, and now have more authority. Everybody has got authority now that they didn't previously have. So all their equipment that they needed previously has been given to them. And crew, what's your plan? What are you going to do? How are you going to find out this information? That's where we left off with you guys kind of just getting everything situated that you think each of you individually need. But let's say you guys all meet back up on the ship. It's on the Sith homeworld, so you're not going to have to travel anywhere. But for meeting purposes, let's say you're all back in the ship after, let's say a week's time has gone by. You guys have been able to outfit, get everything you need, and it's on you. What's the plan, man?
Well, I was thinking that perhaps the best thing for us to do first would be to try to find out exactly what this Grand Moth Bayakan is in charge of. I mean, if he has, at the rank of Grand Moff, he has access to all sorts of information anyway. But perhaps it wouldn't be a bad idea to see if he has a particular area he is responsible for.
You were given that information last session.
All I got is he's fat and got lots of connections. He's a political figure, not really a military leader, to say.
Well,
he does have control of a fleet.
The third fleet, right? He's
Yes.
commanding the third fleet.
Third fleet.
But I agree. I think the first order of business, though, is let's make sure we've all changed our attire out of our normal uniforms. I shouldn't need to remind you, but we're unofficially on this mission, so I'd rather not tie this back to the Sith Chiss Empire or any of our other CSA friends.
All right, so I guess we need to find. How do we infiltrate then the easiest? What kind of uniform should we get? Should we maybe scout out and see what the uniform is of his fleet?
I think that would probably be
Who are the officers that are actual officers in the Chiss Sith Empire?
I am a lieutenant, I believe.
All right, anybody else?
Me as well.
All right, you both can roll. Oh God, what do I want you to roll here? Let me think. There's not a military. There's not an actual military per se. Let me think what I want you to roll here. Roll lore in regards to what you remember of. Both you can roll, and all right. So you both got 19. Yeah, you know it's still standard military empire. The Chiss prefer their higher ranks. They wear white. Mid-tier ranks wear gray and black. Lower level wear all black. So So depending on what you want to portray yourself as, you know what certain, you know because you've been in the military, you've been to certain parts of training and stuff. You know what uniforms are and what insignias, things of that nature. And it's not hard to find.
Oh, I'm a lieutenant commander. Okay. I would certainly think that those of us
That's like
more
in the
upper-
Navy. That's lieutenant commander. It's like a major rank, so you're just above captain.
So mid-rank.
It's a mid-rank.
It's not a
yeah.
colonel or anything.
Yeah,
so.
you're not. You haven't gone into that colonel strategy sphere yet.
So I would think that it probably would be advisable then for those of us with a rather decent rank. It would probably open more doors for us. At least on a scouting mission.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Could we? But I assume if we do kind of dress up as the lower ranks in black, we probably will go less noticed as well. We'll probably need some kind of balance between the two. Right, because we don't want to draw attention to ourselves if we are
a whole
going to
fleet
do
of
snooping.
officers. Yeah.
But what's the highest rank any of us have?
Well, you and
I am just a
lieutenant
hired
commander.
mercenary, so I have none.
All right.
What about Oscar? Are Oscar and I higher ranks? I thought we were up. Maybe I was the highest rank of everybody. I don't remember exactly.
I thought it was you and Osk.
Well,
think so.
I was an agent. You know, that was part of Osk's background. Is he's an agent of the Empire, but I don't know if that changed with stuff. So
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure about. What about the CSA? Would they have any information about the location of this place? Maybe we could use our ties with them to help.
Well, I would think
what
that
about
any and
my-
all communication on and off planet is monitored.
What about my newly gained underworld contacts that I got out of Make a Journal?
That would probably be a good option.
There's
But, I
also
mean, we
the
could
option.
I was not necessarily. I would just maybe the Commander Kryn might have some people that would help or know some better ways to approach this as well. Since we want to keep our names out of a lot of it, that's why I was thinking maybe we could pay someone else to get some information if we need.
I am always in favor of other people doing my work.
And the other thing
As
that
am
we
I.
could do is see if we can perhaps at least get a general idea of this Grand Moff's military jacket. See what their record is. Perhaps we can find the files on him.
Yeah, I agree. It would be helpful to know where he might be staying too. We're still not sure if he's on planet or on his ships and in his fleet. If we need to get information, it might be helpful to see where he stays. Maybe we can get into his office. If you can give me some time on his computer, I can see what I can come up with.
I trust you with trying to find information. Is there any way that if you guys are accessing it, that it would be traced back to us?
That's always a possibility, but that's why I think that if we start with the more peripheral, and then we can slowly work our way in. I will sit down at the computer and open up Space Google.
Okay.
Yeah, we have ways to cover our tracks, but it's not always effective. Depends on what security measures they have in place, really.
And from on our ship, I would assume that we have access to military databases. Can I look up anything about this Grand Moff?
Yeah, you can try and make a technology check.
25.
Yeah, you find just the basics. You can't get anything else because it's all classified above your pay grade.
Do I at least get like where the Third Fleet's based out of? If they have like a headquarters building on planet, or
Classified. You'd have to get approval to find out like fleet movements and stuff.
I don't want a fleet movement, but what I'm looking for more is the fleet's based off the planet. So do they have a headquarter building on the planet for paperwork or?
I Where would we enlist if we wanted to join or something like that, maybe?
Well, I mean, enlistment is done either through officer ranks or enlistment ranks through just a recruitment center. But where you're assigned is basically, that you'd have to go to headquarters and get information that way. That's where all the records are kept and military decisions are made. So you have your fleets, but are tied in directly into the headquarters division, which is under the council, which is, where the main grand admirals are based out of. So if you want any kind of information like that, you'd have to go to the headquarters building.
Is that nearby?
It's about, on planet, it'd take you about 3 hours to get there. It's on the other side of the planet from where you guys are located. There's no way you can pull information from a computer in there, unless you were to try to hack, because it's all behind classified walls and firewalls and all kinds of security protocol and stuff that, unless you have rank, even then, you're getting the sense when you're trying to look for stuff that not only do you have to have special permission and clearance to get to certain information, you have to have special type of equipment that allows for it to be secured if you're going to be pulling it, which means you'd have to be like a captain rank or higher to even be able to get access to some of this stuff.
Well, I'm above captain.
No, you're not. You're 2 ranks below captain.
Oh, am I? Oh.
Yeah, lieutenant commander, commander, and then captain. Then you go different ranks of the admirals, with grand admirals being the big guys, and then you have your Moths that control different fleets. And sometimes multiple fleets. Moths can control multiple fleets depending on what their status is, and worlds. So there's different worlds in the Chiss Empire. Moths control territory and fleets. Grand Admirals control specifically the fleet, mainly in action. So a Grand Admiral can control like the 3rd Fleet. There's a Grand Admiral for the 7th Fleet. When military stuff happens, the Moth can say, 3rd Fleet, go here and destroy this planet. And then that Grand Admiral takes charge of the entire fleet. Then you have your admirals on each ship and captains on each ship. So it's broken down like the Navy is in the U.S. military. But any kind of movements, current positioning, things of that nature is strictly classified and is at headquarters.
While I'm searching for information, is there anything in particular that the 3rd Fleet is known for?
Make me 2 checks. Make a technology check and then make me a history check. And you'll get an advantage. Yeah, you get an advantage on the lower history check because you are an archaeologist and stuff. So you're somewhat good about pulling information.
So 23 on the lore, 15 on the tech.
So the tech, you're not really able to pull a lot, but what you are able to see is that the 3rd Fleet itself is, it's a newer fleet brought into part of the new industrial military plan that the Chiss Empire has come up with. It's a standard fleet. It has your main Star Destroyers with your Super Star Destroyers. These aren't the Star Destroyers that you guys remember. These are like different classifications, more firepower, better technology, shielding, things of that nature. There's also different classifications of smaller cruisers and things like that that accompany these fleets and stuff. So just like the U.S. Navy, you have your big ship, which is like the aircraft carrier, which is your Star Destroyer. Then you have your battleship, which are your Super Star Destroyer. Then you have your battleships, which are your destroyers. And you have your cruisers and everything like that accompany the fleet. You also have always a Sith Star Destroyer, which is different than the makeup of it. And this is where the Sith always there's one assigned to each fleet, and this is where the Sith specifically they operate with the fleet with their own missions sometimes, but they are always assigned to a fleet. So sometimes they break off to go do separate missions, but a lot of the Sith fighters, warriors, things of that nature are kept in these ships. A lot of your special forces units are kept in, special ops units are kept in these ships. These are your elite fighters, but they have their own ship. So imagine a Star Destroyer looking totally different, with more looking like a Sith kind of Old Republic kind of look to it, but more modernized. But it's a newer fleet. But you don't have a makeup of like ships or anything like that. It's just standard knowledge about like how fleets are set up. That's easy enough to pull, but you don't know like the specific of who's actually assigned there, personnel, things of that nature. You just know the makeup of what the fleet is, and it looks pretty standard for what the Sith Chiss Empire assign.
Being that it's a newer fleet, it'd be reasonable to assume that they would have the most up-to-date, newest technology as far as droids.
You can make that assumption, yes. You don't know for sure, but you can say yeah.
All right. When I got my promotion, I've got 5 underlings, and I was put in charge of all future droid development.
Yeah, for your Grand Moff, yeah, you are.
So, would I be able to go to headquarters and request access to some of the droids in the Third Fleet, since they're some of the newer ones, just to see what the current state of technology is? And also then to poll some of the officers of the Third Fleet as to what they may want to see out of future droid development.
You could go to headquarters into the droid division and speak to somebody there, what they will give you and what you don't know. I mean, you have to go there and see what they'd be willing to share and stuff. You were given these underlings for your own personal development of your own droids, but in service of your Grand Moff. Because she's interested in what you can come up with.
Okay.
But you'd have to see what you could find out that way.
That's a pretty good idea, though. Maybe not directly start with information on the Third Fleet, just on droids, first in that area, and then kind of move to specifics on other fleets and see if they block you.
See if we can branch out from there.
Yeah.
Might at least get us a foot in the door.
I like that. Peripheral searches where we know the inclusion of whatever's on the Third Fleet is going to be there. I think that works.
All right, so I suppose somebody should call us a Chiss Uber or something. We can go to headquarters.
You have access to transportation and stuff. That's not a
then
problem.
cancel the Chuber. Let's
The
just go.
Chuber. Oh my god.
We'll just get us a space van and we'll
That's fine.
we'll shuttle across.
We still have our ship, right?
Yeah, we do. It's just like it's very obvious. Like,
Is it registered under anything? I guess it still is, right?
I also just don't know if there's compact ship parking or anything.
I think we'll be able to find parking.
I know, but compact ship parking in particular.
Well, I mean, it's a big issue.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't want to have one of those smart ships. I mean, they're so ridiculous it look like a child's toy.
Well, you know what? I feel compact today, so we're fine.
All right.
All right. So we will find a mode of transportation that is inconspicuous and not tying back to... Yeah, just inconspicuous, I guess.
We have like an Enterprise rent-a-speeder.
I guess remind me, where are we right now? Are we in orbit around?
No, you're at the base of the Grand Moff.
Yeah, with the Grand Moff. We're getting ready to try and figure out how we're going to infiltrate the Third.
Okay, so we're already landed, right? We can just grab the other transport. Okay, here.
And we're still pretending, we're not pretending to be part of the Chiss. We're just not trying to be showing that we're working for the Grand Moff. So
Right.
it wouldn't be odd to have not a vehicle from here.
Right.
Okay. So let's go shopping for a vehicle. And by shopping, I mean commandeering one.
Or just,
Asking
ask
and
for a
taking.
ride.
No ask. We'll just take and go.
It's usually not a good idea to shit where you eat. So maybe we shouldn't piss off any of the locals.
I mean, you guys, I swear, you can easily get a transport called here to the Grand Moff. She has transport of her own. You can just go jump in a transport and go wherever you want.
Oh, it's like Rent-A-Tuber. Okay.
No, you don't have to rent anything. You have access to vehicles from, I swear.
Public transportation.
The hijack.
You don't need public transportation. There is public transportation, but you can just jump on your own.
I will summon one of my underlings, and I will tell them to go and get us a vehicle and drive us there.
Yes, you can do that.
He
I don't trust it. Wait. Do we want to
Underling?
trust an underling to drive us there, or should we let Horn
They're
do it?
underlings. That's what their job is.
We're
He
just
is
going
fine.
to
Don't
a
get us a
place to
vehicle.
look something up yet. We're not going to kill the dude right this moment,
still
Dervic.
trust
Calm
Horn.
down.
We're
don't wanna
going
trust
to the
random
bloody
underlings.
library.
Okay, fine.
Ensign, go get us a vehicle. Now.
Let's see this young human man, about, you guess about 21, 22 years old, young ensign in uniform and glasses. It says right away and nervously runs off. And he comes back 5 minutes later. Your vehicle's been acquired. It's ready to go.
Thank you.
Just go to the hangar.
I asked him to get out of the cockpit, and I kicked the driver's seat.
Yay!
Make a pilot check. You're able to fly it no problem because it's just a damn transport shuttle. It's nice. It's open. It's comfy. You can see it, all of you. Who's all going? Is everybody going?
Yeah, I'm going.
I guess. I'll see
Okay.
why we wouldn't.
I'm going.
Guess we're going. To
All right.
That's
All
our
right.
plan.
You guys travel. It takes you a couple hours to get there. Just traffic, things of that nature. It is a ways away, but Pilot of Corn navigates very well, and you guys get there in roughly about 2 hours. Durgan in the chat, still waiting on that Uber. You land into the designated area as you approach. You are as you come to the main door toward the entrance or where you parked your transport. It's kind of like it's think of Coruscant, with the kind of transport they had in episode 1, where that kind of stuff. But you land it, not a problem. You go up to the main entrance, and you come to the guards who are in black and red armor with weapons out. You see there's many there. You see people are being scanned before they are allowed to enter, and they're being questioned. Everybody looks like in a military capacity. There's a few civilian people that are being let in, but they are allowed to go in. Seems like they have the right credentials. And you guys come up to the captain of the guard, and he says, "State your intentions and business."
Well, my name is Lieutenant Commander Vorna Wizzy Durham. I've been given an assignment to start looking into developing new droid technology for the Empire, and I was hoping to acquire some statistics and data as to the current state of droids.
Ma'am, who are you here to see?
Whoever's in charge of research and development.
Do you have an appointment, ma'am?
No, I was hoping to find someone to set one up.
He says, "Hold on a second." You see him like he's talking to someone inside his. You don't hear him speaking. You just see it's like a microphone, and then he's like, "Without an appointment, we cannot allow. You're allowed to enter the headquarters. You are a lieutenant commander. We have identified that, but you're not allowed there without an appointment."
All right. Would you be able to tell me who I'd be able to set that appointment up with? I've been off planet for a number of months.
You'd have to get in contact with the head of division there. He looks it up. It says, looks like it's a Dr. Jaren. That's what I have on record. It's point of contact. Looks like they're the liaison. Rank of commander.
Commander Jaren, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And he would be based in this building?
That's affirmative, ma'am.
All right. Which floor? I'd like to just speak to his secretary, perhaps. Set up the appointment.
Looks over. One moment, he's looking through the thing. That would be on the 29th floor. This building you guys see, by the way, is a huge, like almost pyramid, but like in squares, think like Aztec, but it's square. You can see there's armaments, all kinds of stuff here on this building. It is ginormous. You can't really tell like how many stories it is. You can give a rough estimate, but it's not designed in a story way, except that it goes to a certain point, then there's like, think of a big box, then a smaller box on top, then another box, and then, like that. But it's a ginormous facility.
It's almost like a ziggurat.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
Looking at this guard that I'm speaking to, can I tell what rank he is?
He is a captain. A captain in the army.
Army captain.
So he's like, if I was going to by officer rank, you're in 04, he's in 03.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your help, Captain. We'll go in and I'll see if I can set up an appointment to come back at a later date.
All right,
to
ma'am.
meet with him.
He salutes you and goes back to his business, going to the next person. All right, next in line, step through. And see, he's getting people in.
Does he let us all through as a group?
What's that?
Does he let us all in as a group, I imagine?
He doesn't let any of you in. He's letting other people in.
Well, he let me in, didn't he?
He's not letting you in.
He said I was allowed in because...
Oh, you're allowed in because you're military. I didn't know you're going in. So if you want to
Yeah.
go in, you can. But so you're allowed in. So if you want to walk in, you can.
But he's not letting the rest of us in as
You haven't
a
asked,
company.
and didn't say to if you're going in or not. So who else wants to go in?
Well, Vornu goes in,
I'm
and I'm
in.
just going to be like,
I'm Commander
Vornu
Talrax,
was-
accompanying Vornu.
Credentials, please, sir.
I hand him my credentials.
All right, sir. State of intention.
I'm accompanying my officer, Vornu, on
All right,
her
sir. Please
journey.
go ahead, right in and enter.
Thank you.
Who's next?
I'll
at
walk
this
up.
point, I'm just going to wait outside. I'm going to move out of the line.
No,
Yeah,
go
okay.
ahead. I'm gonna go in last.
All right, who's going up next to go in?
I'll go up next. Not saying a word, just show him the freaking
Trim your credentials. Yeah, he's like, Lord Oss, a pleasure. Please go in.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else trying to go in?
I have like no rank with them, right? I'm basically like a recognized mercenary for the chest.
I'll turn around and say that one, and point out the group and say they're with me.
Unless they're military or unauthorized, sir, I cannot allow them to go in.
Would we be would I be considered authorized without like a true title?
You have to find out. I'm not going to just tell you.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what exactly the title was that I got. It was just...
Yeah, I'm checking my notes too. I think they gave us just recognition as like.
Yeah, we just got recognized. I don't think we ever got a title.
No,
Give
were
it a
I don't think we
shot.
have... Well, I don't have any
Just show 'em your
paperwork or anything.
information.
I don't think
Yeah,
I have
you
any
do.
paperwork. We just got something generic
Check your
from...
wallet.
My gosh, this is like pulling teeth. Jiminy
I'm
Christmas.
staying
Shouldn't be
outside.
this
You guys
hard,
can go ahead.
guys. Just try. What's the worst he says? No.
Darafin, why don't we find a canteen around here? Maybe we can ask around locally while they do the military business.
Good with that. Let's do
All right,
some
who else
recon.
is going in?
I'm not going in.
All
I'll
right,
go
so
with
you-
those guys to
okay.
the cantina.
Yeah.
Tails, what are you doing?
I'll be following in. I'll show my credentials.
You're allowed in, yep. You are military.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think 3 of us are going to go drinking and crowd investigating.
Meet any locals and pick up any rumors or anything. You know, that'll be my intention.
Okay, so at this time of day, from where you guys left, it's about lunchtime. So make a investigation check.
Do we all make one, or how do you want us to do it?
Whoever wants to be the one to try to find where you think might.
Do we
be
roll
good
with
contain-
advantage since everyone is kind
No,
of
you
helping?
do not get an advantage because you're not used to this area.
All right. So you want me to do it?
I can check. I guess I'm pretty good.
I have a 5. I don't know what
I
you
have
have.
11. I'm much better.
You have
I'm
plus
kidding.
11? Okay, go for it. Yeah.
19.
Yeah, you ask one of the guards. I mean, you're not afraid, J-Lo, to go and ask a question. Guard just says, yeah, everybody goes. He points out to there. It's designated Cantina 2175. It doesn't have a name, but that's where most people hang out for their lunch breaks and stuff like that.
Excellent. Thank you much.
What is here?
Head over there with these guys.
And Zuntite.
All right, so you guys will head over there. When you get over there, you see that there's actually 3 buildings set up over here. You can tell that one is for, when you look at it, one is designated for enlisted and civilian for accommodations. One is for mid-rank officers and high-ranking non-commissioned officers, and then there's a really nice building across the street, but that's for like high up. So you guys have picked the one that's got like the enlisted civilian kind of people in here. So when you walk in, it's a very standard place. It's set up more like a buffet line. There's people cooking. There's tons of food that you can pick from. Basically, you just go through, you pick whatever you like, and then you pay for it, and then you're able to go sit somewhere. Accommodations are nice. There's a few view screens with the latest news being played in the background, and you can see people of all different types of engineers and work crews and soldiers and secretaries and all kinds of stuff that have come in here to hang out and stuff. So what do you guys want to do?
While we're in there, I'll try to grab something to eat, something to drink.
Yeah, you grab a tray. You have a wide selection of food, and you can grab something to drink. It's very nice.
I think the main thing I'm going to do, though, is once we sit down, I'm going to try and see if I can hear anyone talking, particularly about the Third Fleet in particular, to see if I can kind of gauge anything, if there's people here from there that are maybe, just chatting, talking about their boss type thing, to get a better idea of the Grand Moth became.
Okay, what are you doing, Moz, and what are you doing, DT, with your characters?
I'm just gonna kind of eat and.
All right, you grab some food. Okay.
Just looking around.
All right, and
not
then,
really doing anything.
Okay, you're just kind of keeping an eye on. Okay, DT, what are you doing?
Yeah. So one question, Ranger. Do we know? Does the Third Fleet have any different markings on any of their uniforms, or is it all kind of pretty standard? I'm just not familiar if they would have different emblems or something from.
They would, but you, not being in the military, would not know that because you didn't research it, so you have no idea.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look around then and just take note of the uniform, see if I can identify any patterns in any of them, and.
All right, make a perception check.
Yeah, I'll listen, see if I can hear some.
And then I'll do your next, Finn. I mean, you look around, you see different stuff, and you're looking at all the symbols, but it looks Greek to you because you do figure out a little bit of the uniform structure and things of that nature. You've been working with these guys enough to know a little bit about who's a work crew, who based off their uniform and what they're doing, what they, are they more combat oriented? Are they more in the paperwork field? Are they more of your crews that fix things of that nature? And you see there's pockets of different people and friends talking and stuff like that. It's a normal lunchroom atmosphere for a really, really, really super busy place. So, and you see people coming and going all the time, but you got to get a sense by just watching and observing JLO DT that you get a kind of sense of a little bit about who's who, but you have no idea who they work for and stuff. So, but it does give you a little bit better working understanding just from observing who they could possibly, what they do and stuff. You don't know for sure, but you kind of get a sense for that. Finn, make your perception check.
Just one clarification. So it looks like there's multiple kind of fleets here based on this.
You have no idea. You're not enough in the military to know it's not your world. It just, you're not familiar with it. I'm sure if Vornu or somebody was in here, they'd be like, oh, and then they were brought to know the symbols of rank, the symbols of their accommodations, what certain pins mean, and things of that nature that identifies them for what they do. But you don't have that knowledge to now if you want to look at something, you do a couple, you're using your pad to kind of look stuff up, you get an idea of that one symbol institutes mainly probably paperwork person, right? Those people, and you look it up, they're more sanitation. The other group looks like engineers, and there's some combat engineers there. You're not sure what they're doing, but you're learning like how the structure works. With your perception of 15, that's what you came up with.
Sure. Okay, thanks.
All right, Finn, go. You're looking for more specific stuff, so make your roll.
25.
Yeah, you really concentrate, Finn, and with the 25, that's a really good roll. I made this one tough. You do hear group 2 tables over. It's hard to hear through all the chatter, but you really concentrate, and you hear some mumblings about like there's a guy and a girl sitting there talking, and they look like they're administrators, and they're talking about like the Third Fleet's demand for certain supplies and stuff. They're kind of bitching about it. Like they like, didn't we just send this to them? Like, now I have to redo the paperwork. And the girl's like, I know. I deal with this all the time. It's so annoying. And they're sitting there like discussing like what their plan of action is. But that's the only thing you pick up. But you do hear they're talking about the Third Fleet.
Do they mention what the supplies are that they're?
You get a sense it's mainly just standard supplies, rations, some technological parts. But what they're complaining about is that they just sent this crap, and there seems to be some kind of mess up in the paperwork. It got sent to another fleet, and so they're having to redo everything and send it again.
Okay.
But of all this chaos, that's what you pick up.
Okay. All right. Separate question. I'm pretty sure we did, and we can double check. I think we did look up information on the Grand Moth while we were there, right? So we know what he looks like.
Yeah, you know what he looks like.
Okay.
He's a public figure. That's without question. You know what he looks like.
And we have nothing that.
Any simple space Google will find a picture.
Yes.
Good old Star Wars space Google.
You're welcome for that, Kenneth.
That is the greatest canon ever. All right. So, and we don't have any way necessarily to recognize whether somebody is part of the Third Fleet or not, right?
Yeah, they're just not there with you right now.
Okay, so we don't see anyone from the Third Fleet.
You're not aware of. You just hear. That's a conversation you do. I mean, a lot of the people that are in military uniform are in not dress uniform, but the standard military issue uniform, like. And you see the different colors and combinations of colors, you again are not from that world. So Some of it you kind of pick up on, some of it you don't. A lot of the symbols of the badges and stuff that they wear, you don't really know what it means per se. You're kind of in the same boat that JLo is. Like, it's a new world for you guys. You know, you weren't raised in the military. You're not a part of the military. You guys have rank as civilians working for the military, but that doesn't really mean much in the sense that it does give you some public, like, you know, you do have some authority, but it's very weak because you're a civilian and you don't have that, and you haven't developed enough name, power, recognition, or authority to really throw your weight around. Because there are civilians that do work for the military, you know that, but these are like people that are part of the parliament. The Church does not have a senate; they have a parliament, and it's based off regions and stuff. And you know that those guys can walk through the military because they're civilian, right? You know, so and you know Sith, although not part of the military, they are part of the military, but they're a separate entity. They can walk in, and you saw that with Talrax and Osk. They are recognized as authority that the military recognizes. Civilians is a different story.
Okay. So I'll turn to JLo and
bureaucracy at its finest.
Are either of you too good at lying? I'm not good at that.
Well, what's your angle? I've been known to run a scam or two.
That table over there. Don't look too much. And I kind of direct them to the table with the male and the female that are talking. They're talking about how the Third Fleet is causing them issues. There was a shipment that was intended to go to the Third Fleet, and they have to redo it. So they're kind of complaining about paperwork. I'm wondering if maybe one of you, if you're good at it, could go over there and maybe get some more details from them about it. I can try to listen in from here, but yeah, no, lying, not my thing.
Moth, Jayla?
Thinking. Not too familiar with them. I mean, it looks like they're ranked, but I don't even know which fleet they're with or how to run this
I don't
one.
think they're part of any fleet. I think they're just administrative. But maybe we can get some more details about if this is the first time this has happened with the Third Fleet and how often, because maybe there's something else going on with the Third Fleet and the shipments that are going there. I mean, we know Bacane is corrupt in some way, shape, or form. Maybe misusing resources and something is part of it.
That could be. Well, let me think on it and see if we can come up with an angle.
Yeah, I think we're gonna.
What are you guys doing?
See if there's.
So this other group, are they just sitting down eating their lunch right now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess I'll go over to them and introduce myself. But, hey, you know,
Okay. You're going to go
How
up
far
and just-
away are they from me, by the way?
Oh, about 10, 15 feet.
Okay.
So I'll walk over. I don't know, Moz, if you're coming with me or not, but
Sure, I'll come too.
Okay, you guys walk up. What do you say, Jayla? These two people are eating and suddenly look up at you and they're just staring at you.
yeah, like, hey, you know, I couldn't help but overhear you've been running into issues with some supply shipments to the Third Fleet. They've had me putting together ration orders to ship up to them.
Make a deception check with... Just make a deception check.
16?
They still look a little cautious and like, yeah, what about it? And it's the man speaking, and he's a young man with black hair. He looks human, not quite human. You can't figure it out. The woman is definitely human, with hair and the military style pulled up in a bun and stuff. She has glasses on. She's wearing a jacket. You've seen enough, Frank, to know that they're both ensigns. So they're like, you know, are not they're junior ensigns. So they're young officers. And
Okay.
the girl's just kind of throwing on her food, looking at you, and the guy's like, yeah. And what about it?
Oh, please, I mean no offense. Just curious. There's been rumors all over town that the supplies are getting taken by pirates or bandits. I was just wondering if you knew anything about.
Make
what
another
might be
deception
happening.
check.
28.
Wow. Okay,
I'm
so
glad I asked you, because that would not have gone well if I was doing it.
the guy says, "That's interesting. I didn't hear that." He's like, "Take a seat." He says, "I'm Grinnin, and this is Lieutenant Junior Grade Shen." And they sit you down like, "So, where did you get this information from?" Because as far as we understood, that the supply issue was just a matter of paperwork being befuddled and messed up. And you're saying that you've heard other things. Like, what have you heard?
Well, let me be clear. Nothing substantial. These are all just rumors that, quite frankly, are above my pay grade.
They both kind of like, yeah, we know about that.
We were just curious. I mean, they're running us ragged, looking everywhere to find more shipments. It's getting harder and harder to find even just the basics to resupply them.
Huh. He looks around like, that would make sense, but we had acquired the necessary. We did the correct transfers and everything, but apparently there was something once we sent it that got mixed up, and that got sent to the 7th Fleet, I believe. But you're saying there's actual issues with actual supply chain at the moment?
Well, that was the rumor I've heard. Again, I'm just trying to substantiate it. Surely you're higher ranked than I am. I was wondering if you had heard.
Yeah, I don't.
It.
He notices. He's like, I don't see rank on you. You're not even in the military. Are you a civilian contractor?
Yes, exactly. They've been helping us. Well, we've been helping just with the resupplies, really. My friend here, she's mostly the muscle of the organization, as you can see.
They kind
Helps
of
us
smirk
keep
at that.
everything in line.
Huh, interesting. And what group did you say you represent?
Oh, we're just working with the local townsfolk to help resupply right now. I mean, we're contracted under the Empire right now.
I'm able to hear all this, by the way, right? I'm not interacting. I'm at a different table, but
because you're concentrating on it. Like
Yep.
you're pretending like you're eating and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean that's all. We're trying to finish up the other shipment, and I just overheard you guys mentioning it, and I was wondering if you'd heard anything else. It's the first time.
No, we haven't heard it. I mean, we handle the documents. People want stuff we work in the. Let's just say we work in administration, and we handle like supply requests and things of that nature. But if you hear anything else, he kind of he swipes over his data information to you. It's like, if you hear anything else, maybe let us know. That'd be a big help to us.
Sure, yeah, I'd be happy to. And if you hear any more about what might be happening, or if anything else goes missing, please send it my way, and I'll see if I have heard anything else on my side I can pass along to you.
Do you pass on your information to him?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right. And he's like, well, we'd like to finish our lunch. Kind of hard asses about being on time. So if you don't mind, we'd like to finish and get back to it. But if you hear anything else, my friend, thank you. That's important to know. I'll see what I can find out, because if I can make my job easier, he just kind of just smirks and is like, oh, that would be so great. And you just see the woman, she doesn't really say much. She just kind of nods her head and gives affirmations to stuff, and looks kind of not interested, and more like, oh, that's interesting, but I still have to deal with it. So kind of look like, So they go about eating. Where do you guys go back over to Dara?
Yeah, I'll just kind of nod to them. And be like, it was great to meet you. Well, hopefully
so greetings are done. You guys go back over.
Yep. Like that. That's interesting.
That was some good bullshit in there, Jayla.
I am
You
making
get a dark side point.
Nice.
I am making a note of what the male figure looked like, by the way.
Yeah, he looks like
uniform,
average.
signs, everything. I'm kind of making a note mentally.
You've got all that. So you make a note of all that stuff. Write it down. And of the girl.
I'm mainly just looking at the male, but yeah.
Oh, okay. If you're not interested in her, that's fine.
No, I'm specifically for the male.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking a note of both. I have contact info for both of them, or just
him.
the male?
Just him.
Just
But
so
you
they're-
did.
okay.
You did recognize her appearance, her uniform, that kind of stuff. So.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So what did you? I heard some of it, but what else did you figure out?
Oh well, it seems
I knew Durgan was going to say that in chat.
Oh,
I know he was.
I miss Durgan.
I know I led.
Durgan jumped right on that.
I'm aware. I know what I was saying.
Durgan immediately in chat said what I was
I'm
thinking,
aware.
but yeah, I didn't want to say
I
it.
made sure I had my window open.
You did it wrong.
It's
It's not Finity. It's Darafin is checking out the male
Darafin,
figure.
yeah.
We're role playing Durgan.
Too funny. So I'll turn to Darafin and be like, well, it seems like at least the paperwork's indicating supplies are going to the 7th Fleet by mistake. Seems like this has happened more than once. Basic supplies for now, but things are definitely going missing. There may be something more to this paper trail.
And did you get the name of those guys?
I did, yes. Grinnin and Shan.
Okay. And the male's name was Grinnin,
Grinnin.
and I assume there's a last name too, right?
What's his last name?
Oh, that's the last name?
Mm-hmm. They didn't give the first
Oh.
name.
Oh, okay. I thought he gave you like additional
Nope.
information, like a business card. Or
Well, he
something.
gave me like a contact card, right? It just has
Yeah, it
his...
just says, Junior Ensign, Grin, and that's all you got.
Junior Ensign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Junior Ensign Grinnin. Okay.
So he may pass along more information. I may have spun a small tale about some smugglers we've heard of. So, but I did let him know we'll pass along any more info. So keep that in mind. We'll see what our compatriots come up with. But we may be able to build this relationship into something more.
All right.
And I'll just continue to listen to see if I hear anything else. I do want to try something if I have the ability to. So I'll have to ask you, Ranger.
What?
It's a 4th level force power. Am I able to try to do locate creature and try to see if Grand Moff Bacane is here?
You hear a voice in the back of your head like, no.
Okay. Well, I will try.
The
and then
voice
get
in your head
it shut
says,
down.
I don't think that would be good in this area.
Okay. Okay. And then I will. So.
Always the laugh in your head.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of getting used to this. It's very comforting, actually. All right. So that's it. All right. That'll be it for me.
Okay.
Then, besides just kind of listening somewhere.
Anybody else there do anything? Moz, anything else? Anybody in this group do anything else before I switch?
Yay, teamwork.
Yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the lunch from here.
Yeah,
on
it's
out.
quite delicious. The food's pretty good.
And maybe this is a good angle we can use. Seems like there's a need for civilian contractors and talking to other people about supplies.
Actually, if you let me ask. Can we just do some random roleplay stuff, Ranger, or do you want to move?
Yeah,
on?
go. No, you can. Go ahead.
I'm gonna look at Vedastra and Vedestra. There's no T. I keep putting a T in there. Sorry, Vedestra.
So I do that.
And just So what are your skills? You're new to the group. I don't know. I mean, we're still kind of figuring each other out. What's your specialty besides kind of just looking over her smashing things?
Well, I'm just here to support whatever group I'm in. I'm a decent fighter. I have some deception skills. I have some tech skills. And I don't know what else.
What kind of deception skills do you have? Do you think you could have done? I know I couldn't have done what JLo just did. Are you able to do similar to that or different types?
No, that was right up my alley.
Oh. Okay. It gives us some...
And I think we're gonna have to do some pretending to get where we, especially those of us with no rank. So.
I agree.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, good to know. Let's work out an angle right now where we work together at the docks supplying the shipments. We'll see if we need to use that alibi again.
Yeah.
I am now, when I'm listening, by the way, I'm going to listen for stuff about the 3rd Fleet as well as the 7th Fleet, since now that has come up.
All right, make a perception check.
Okay. 18?
No, I'm not hearing anything. I mean, you picked up on that because you're really keen, but you're not hearing. You're hearing a whole bunch of stuff about different things, but like you listen to, you're like for a minute or two for each conversation, and like, no, that's not it. And then you go to somebody else, you're like, no, that's
it's like
not
flipping
it.
through the radio.
Yeah, you're flipping through the radio, and you're like, yeah, that's the Go-Go's. No, I don't want to listen to them. Or Nirvana, maybe later. No, I don't want to hear Christian music right now. No, definitely not rap. I mean, you're kind of trying to figure out like what it is you're listening for, but you're not getting any pickup on anything else.
Damn it! I should have stayed on that first station. All right, that's it.
Okay. To the other group, Vorner, you are leading the way with these two large Sith warriors flanking you, and also holding up the rear, you've got Teals walking in your uniform. They are in their Sith robes and uniforms, and you walk through this huge. As soon as you get through the doors, there's a hallway, short hallway. You feel like you're being scanned, and you're allowed to keep your weapons and stuff. So that, I mean, that's fine. As you walk into the main area, you see there's another security checkpoint, more just for you gather that this is in case of first security checkpoint, something happens. This is like a secondary. A lot of security. You see a lot of patrols walking around and stuff. You see drones, droids floating around. You see droids everywhere. It's a huge open space with these giant pillars into this big reception area. You see people going to turbo lifts and other things of that nature. You see there's a big circular desk in the center of it with personnel there, and you see that there's monitors up the top that list like different levels and who's there and things of that nature. As looks from your perception, this would be like the greeting area and information area and where you go to check in, that kind of thing.
All right. First thing I'll do is I want to walk over to what sounds like a big directory.
That's the circular place.
Yeah, but you had said that there was like something on the wall that was saying who's there.
No, it's not on the
You
wall.
are
It's,
here.
it's so think of the big circular desk thing, right? And people around it, right? It's open in the middle. There's screens behind them, and then there's screens above them going around in a circular formation around them up top.
Okay. Before I talk to anyone, I just want to take a look then at those screens above them. Are there pictures next to the people?
No, just a name and a floor.
Okay.
Wait, do you speak? Yeah, you would speak Chiss, so see, you would do it. Anybody who does not speak Chiss, it looks like gibberish.
All right, so I'll just verify then that Dr. Commander Jaren is on the 29th floor.
Yeah, you see Commander Jaren. This has got his name. It says Doctor, and then it says / robotics engineering, and you see also it says 29th floor section.
Okay. I'll approach one of the receptionists, I guess.
All right. You see this young Chiss girl with really fire red eyes and her hair in a militaristic manner. Looks at you kind of surprising because your hair is down, because you always keep your hair down and, you know, cropped the way you have it cut and stuff. And she looks at you and she's just like, "Yes, ma'am, can I help you?" She's an enlisted soldier.
Can I tell a rank?
Lower enlisted. You know,
Private, something like that?
No, but private. She's like E133 would be private rank. She's specialist rank 4, like an enlisted rank of 4.
So that's what, like a corporal?
Yeah, corporal. They're specialists, but she's not a commissioned. She's not a non-com. She's still an enlisted soldier.
Okay. Good morning. How are
Yes,
you?
ma'am. I'm good, ma'am. How can I help you?
I was hoping to be able to have access to Commander Jaren's secretary, perhaps. I'd like to set up an appointment, maybe later today or later in the week, to have a meeting with him.
She says, "Okay."
Right now.
She turns a data pad in front of you that's on a swivel and gives it to you. Says, "Hold this for a second," and then she touches something on her ear, and you see something lights up on her eye, and then you see her call to 29th floor, and then you see your sign. So she's waiting. It's like, yes, I have. She looks at you. Your name again, ma'am?
Lieutenant Commander Vonu Wizi-Ladura.
Lieutenant Commander. What was the last name, ma'am?
Ladurum.
Ladurum, here to see Dr. Jaron. She looks up at you again. Do you have an appointment?
No, I don't. I was hoping to set one up.
She would like to set one up. Should I put you in touch? All right, one moment, and then she flips over, and then you see an older lady pop up on the screen with black and gray hair. Not a military personnel. She's actually and very dressed very nicely, and she's like, "Hello, Lieutenant Commander. How can I be of assistance to you today?"
Greetings. Yes, I was hoping to set up an appointment to have a meeting with Commander Jarrett. I've recently been appointed to do some research into robotics as well, and I was hoping to maybe compare notes with him.
And what? And who are you under, ma'am?
I am
What
under
division?
Grand Moth Bear.
You see her face kind of twitch for a second. Oh, can you hold 1 minute, ma'am?
Of course.
You see, like this, like when the elevator music starts playing, like da 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 da, and then you see her come back on. It's your lucky day. Dr. Jared seems to have some time right now. If you give me a second, I will send down the necessary credentials. Is it just yourself, or who? How many credentials do I need to send down?
I have a few of my my companions with me. One, two, three, 4 of us, I believe. Yeah.
Right. I'll send those down immediately, and Dr. Jaren is very much looking forward to meeting you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
All right.
While this conversation was going on, I wanted to check the directory, see what else is on that floor, and also above and below. Just what I'm seeing
30th
between.
floor is just, it's not listed, and the 28th floor is not listed either.
Great. Okay.
Outstanding.
It's a Black Ops floor.
Okay.
All right.
Very well.
And so,
I'll
and then you
stand
see
there
the
just
enlisted
humming the
girl
elevator
goes,
music.
yes, ma'am. All right, ma'am. All right, thank you. And then you see her doodle something. She kind of does this in front of her screen where she's, in virtual world. And then all of a sudden you see pop up in front of you 4 credentials with your pictures on them. She says, wear these. That will identify you. And if you go to that turbo left over there, she points you to the direction. They'll take you to the 29th floor.
Thank you very much. Yeah, have a nice day.
All right. And so you guys walk over, you wait for the turbo lift. It takes a minute because someone was using it. It pops in, and you see some other people get in on. And you get in, it's huge. These things are spacious. Then you notice that very accommodating. And then there's a droid in there, and as you walk in, he says, before we move, state, floor. And then you hear a different number.
29.
All right, and then some say like 77, one says 13, and so you guys go, and then, instantly, your 13 person gets off, then another floor gets off, and then you guys, the 29th floor opens up, and when you do, it's just white everywhere. As soon as you walk in this long hallway, it's just white on both sides, lit up. Think of Camino, that bright kind of white light, and you walk in, and the turbolift takes off behind you. You go down this hallway and you see that there's some doors there. They open up, and then you see the lady behind a desk with different stuff, and she comes over, says, "Hi, I'm the doctor's personal secretary, Madeline. Nice to meet you all." And she comes over and greets you.
It's very nice to finally see you in person. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can I get you any refreshments? The doctor will be just another minute, and I'll take you in to see him. But I can get that while you go in to see him. If there's anything you guys want refreshment-wise?
If you actually would have a cup of Corellian tea, that would actually be wonderful.
All right. She looks at the other two, and she's not intimidated by the fact that there's 2 Siths sitting there. She's like, "And you, Master Sith?"
Osk shakes his head. No.
She looks over at you, Talrax.
I'll take a black coffee, please.
1 Jaffa coming up, and then she looks at you and at you, Teals, and you, sir.
I'll be fine, thank you.
All right, and then she goes over to her tab and says, "They're here, sir." All right. Walk through those doors there to your, and she's to her right. Says the doctor will see you now, And so you guys will go walking in. You see her walking off to go get your refreshments. You walk in, and this office is different from the outside. You can see that it's when you go in, you can see that behind there is a full view of like the city behind him. This is a pretty nice view of buildings and stuff. And his room is unlike where you were previously. This room has another door that goes off to the left. But in there you can see there's some nice furniture and a desk, and you can see that it's a very nicely accommodated office. Very, very well accommodating for guests and stuff. And you see this Chiss male with black hair but gray on the sides. And for you, two Chiss characters know that pretty old for them to get gray in their hair. So for that, you can tell that he's been at it for a long time. And he says, Commander, come on in. Welcome, my guest. And he comes over and you guys salute, and he says, and we won't ever have to salute again. He says, I'm more of a doctor than I am a commander. A commander is just what I use for the military purposes. And he shakes your hand, and he shakes all your hands if you want to shake his hand.
Yes, I will shake his hand.
And what about the Sith?
Oh, my arm! I'm standing there all Morpheus style from Matrix with his hands clasped behind his back.
He comes over to shake your hand. He's like, he just kind of shrugs, like, okay. He goes over to you, Talrax.
I'll shake his hand.
Oh, this is a Sith pureblood. I haven't seen one of you in a while. It's an honor, sir.
Honor is mine. I'm Talrax.
Very nice to meet you, Lord Master Talrax.
Lord Talrax.
Lord Talrax. All right, and then he comes over to you, Tails. He's like, and you are, my friend?
Lieutenant Commander Cornpotho Nunuko.
Nice to meet you as well, Lieutenant Commander. Please come on in. And then you see the secretary come in, and she brings in your drinks and gives it to each of you. And he sits down and says, I apologize. It's been kind of a busy day. Heard you're here on behalf of your Grand Moth, and, anything I can do to get in her good graces is fine. What is it that I can exactly do for you today? What is it that I can do? How can I help? What are you looking for?
Well, my understanding is that you are in charge of all research and development for droids specifically.
I am.
And that is the assignment I have now been given from my Moth. So I was hoping to just compare notes with you on a professional, courteous basis.
And what specifics are you looking to compare notes on? Because, again, a lot of our stuff we do here is classified, so
that's very understandable. I was hoping for more general level things.
Sure. What are you looking for?
For example, I know that, say, the Third Fleet is one of the newer fleets. So
yes, we're quite proud of what we were able to do for the Third Fleet.
And that's what I'm wondering. Were there any specific requests made for types of droids? Or have they specifically, since being issued these droids, asked for any improvements, perhaps, or modifications made to the droids, just in order to help with the general operating status, since they are a newer fleet?
Standard droids are on all the ships. He's kind of thinking about it. To my knowledge, not that I'm aware of. I mean, you're gonna have to be more specific because, I mean, upgrades to droids like protocol droids and other things of that nature, I'm not really. I mean, we do have some research into that, but I mean, it's common just for upgrades and improvements, but nothing of significance. I mean, what are you? What are you trying to look for specifically?
Well, for example, say that for a standard Star Destroyer, you may give them a package, say, of 2,000 mouse units, another 1,000 R2 units,
that seems
and then,
pretty
say,
standard.
100 protocol.
Yeah.
Have they looked to alter that at all, say, to increase the number of mouse droids or decrease the number of protocol droids?
Make a persuasion check.
Can I give him
17?
He's like, nothing out of the ordinary. I can tell you this, that the Third Fleet has some let's just say, some things that I've been working on that I'm going to have them test out. Can't get into the specifics of it, but I'm pretty excited.
Would you say more programming per se, internal?
Well, I can't say for sure. I'm going to say there's some new things that I will be testing out with the Third Fleet when it goes into action.
Can I do an insight check on him?
Yeah.
Nope.
Hard to read. He seems genuine about what he's saying.
Okay.
Well, if you're excited about it, it must be very special.
Oh, it is very special. And he says, let me put it to you this way. What would you say is the current biggest problem with battle droids that the Sith Empire uses at the moment? In your own words, like if you were to evaluate them.
I would say that probably the thing that would be best upgraded on them would be more of a quick-time decision-making in their AI, if possible.
He kind of looks at you surprisingly. Have you done some research into this?
I've done some tinkering. My own personal droid, Zeta, has really been my dominant lab assistant most of the time. And through a combination of just tweaks to her programming and other little modifications, the niceties of doing that when you tinker with an AI is that they do begin to eventually be able to read the situation more easily.
He looked at you, fascinating. You know, you're the first person that's really, out of all the things I've ever heard, it's always more firepower and this and that. And I've always argued with the military about the AI being more able to do more in making decisions.
Well, the scalpel can usually do more damage than a gigantic blaster.
Yes, that's my thoughts exactly. And then you see him kind of curiously looking at you, Vornu. He's like, come over here, you four. And he's like, follow me.
We'll follow.
All right, so he takes you through a door, and then you go to one of those long hallways, and then he takes you, and he hits a button, and then one of the walls opens up, and you see inside, you see this room where you see people are working on this droid in the center, right? And it's like anything you've ever seen before. It looks like almost human in its appearance and stuff. But not. It's humanoid design, but it's the way it looks, and it looks like no droid you've ever seen before. You know, protocol droids look somewhat humanoid, but you know they're clanky, right? They're moving and stuff. This one has, Vorna, when you first, it takes you by surprise, like how the limbs and everything look lifelike and stuff on this thing.
So she's experimenting with android technology. Sorry.
You say that out loud?
Yeah.
He's like, no, not androids, but good observation. And he says, now, he brings over a data pad to each of you. I need each of you to sign this.
Sign away.
Yeah, it basically
Sure.
it's a agreement that
NDA.
this is classified top secret information. Revealing it to anybody is automatic death sentence.
Party secrets!
You know what's funny is I get a feeling out of character. I know what these are.
So when you go over there, it says these are
I
the new
noticed
B1A6, and we're working on even improving them as they are now. But we have our prototypes, 50 of them, on as part of the Third Fleet. They're hopefully to see combat soon and to run mock simulations. Unlike droids in the past, these droids can think and make decisions on the battlefield. But what's great about them is they are completely loyal. We've been able to outfit them. Their movement's better. It's less clunky. They're able to adapt to their environment. And he starts breaking down like all these characteristics. Warning, you're drooling because you've never seen anything like this before.
Just add a character for 1 second. Are we looking like a Schwarzenegger Terminator where they've got like a skin suit over them?
There's
or
no
do
skin.
They still look metal.
They look metal. There's no eyes or anything like that. The faceplate looks kind of like just a blank page, but you can see that there's where the eyes would be are two like dots, where it looks like there's lights there. And he says, and then he brings up an image. He brings you over, Vorno, and you guys to this holo projector, and you can see that the brain. You've never seen anything like this. He says, "I've been able." He says, "This is my own personal design," and you can see the complication of the networking and stuff that he's created in here with the different symmetry and circuits and stuff. You've never seen anything like this, Vorno.
So you've gone and you've perfected the AI through the use more of the hardware than the software.
Yes. The software is important, but the software is easy enough to... I mean, he looks like software. But it's...
And the software is always limited by the limitations of the hardware.
Correct. And he says, with this new... and he starts breaking down the pieces. With this piece and this piece, I'm able to do this. And then he starts showing you, like... He's like, watch this. And he says... activate the unit. The unit activates, and you see it just kind of set up. And then he speaks into a microphone and says, P1, perform acrobatics. And you see this droid, like any droid you've ever seen before, do a couple flips, roll on the ground, do a one-handed handstand and stuff, and then goes back and sits down on the desk after he completed his task. It's like, what do you think of that?
That is superb.
Imagine a droid
Most impressive.
that can communicate real-time actions, can be the scout organization, infiltrate. It could revolutionize the way we think about droids.
This is truly brilliant work, Doctor.
Thank you. And this is where we're leading the Sith Chiss Empire. And the Third Fleet will be the first ones that we use for these droids.
With droids like this, you'd be able to virtually replace most of the crew.
No, these droids are specific. The one limitation is they don't have emotions. They can... The brilliance of my design is that you can send these guys anywhere. They'll do what they're supposed to do, and they're able to adapt. But the decisions are left up in the long term to us.
Well, yes, you would leave the command crew in place.
He's like, we learned this, I went back into research on the Clone Wars. The reason the clones were so good is because those were thinking, adaptable human beings, right? The droids could do stuff, and the droids performed well, but they had their limitations in battle, right? Unlike these droids can do almost anything.
Truly is the best of both worlds.
But I'm not going to have them piloting ships and stuff like that. That's not what they're designed for.
No, but certainly you'd be able to send them into more hazardous environments.
Right.
Or if there's damage to the ship, they certainly would be an ideal repair team.
That's right. Certain worlds where, say, like Hoth, you could send these guys out to scout ahead of time. Unlike Imperial Pro droids back in the day, these are able to adapt to their conditions and survive and report in real time and understand the information that they're saying instead of us having to look at it. So these make the best scout infiltrators we've ever created. And in combat, they're pretty amazing as well.
Well, especially if I would imagine, at least for some of the base protocols, you use the existing AI from the current level battle droids that we do have.
Well,
so all of their combat protocols are still in place.
He kind of waves his head. He's like, combat droids are combat droids. You send them into the battle, they do whatever they do. I'm more interested in the thinking 4 dimensions of what a battlefield and what war is really about. It's about all the moves ahead of time, and information is power. With droids like these, and he's like, with stealth technology and things that we can do with these droids, we could really, it could make a huge difference for the Empire and our capabilities on the battlefield. Yeah, combat droids will always be important, so are troops, but these droids can make a huge difference.
I want to just look around the room. I want to try and see what sort of diagnostic testing equipment he may have. Does he even have anything like, say, for example, like a chess set or anything like that? Something where you can continuously test the AI on these?
Make a perception check.
12?
Yeah, I mean it's not that hard to see what he's got in there. It's equipment. There's nothing like a chess game or anything like that, but you see that there's all kinds of equipment in here. Some of it very advanced. I mean, this is state of the art. Like this is like no time was left unspent. Funding for this kind of stuff is without end, and so you can see like. If you had a lab like this to create stuff, Warner, you would never go outside again. Is what you're thinking.
Well,
I kind of gives you some ideas about what you can start using and come up with for like maybe back at your research station for like what you can come up with.
Well, Doctor, color me blue with envy over your lab. I definitely may seek your assistance with upgrading my facilities as well for recommendations.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of this technology is off books in the sense that it's state of the art. But yeah, I would love to come check out your lab and give you some pointers if you're looking to create your own. If that's what the Grand Marf is interested in, perhaps maybe I can stop by sometime for her pleasure and look at your facilities.
Absolutely.
All right. He goes over. Make an appointment with my secretary. Actually, I'll have my secretary contact hers. If you would let the Grand Moff know that I will be contacting them to come visit, and I would love to check out your facilities and give you some pointers and see what you've got going on.
Thank you very much.
All right. And then he walks you guys back out. Is there anything else I can do for the Grand Moff?
I suppose just if you should ever hear of any odd requisitions dealing with droids, if you could just let us know, since our Moff obviously now is looking to try to catch up. I was going to look into a slightly different direction in droid development, but honestly, you have blown away my expectations of what is possible, given me much to think about now.
I had no idea that your Grand Moff was so interested in droids.
Any time that you are able to give yourself the advantage, and certainly droids can be a very powerful advantage.
Oh, I agree. It's nice to meet a kindred spirit there, Lieutenant Commander. I'm sorry, Vornu. You can call me Jarin.
Oh, thank you, John.
Is there anything else? We'll set that appointment up, and I'm looking forward to meeting your Grand Moff and seeing your facilities.
Oh, most excellent. I'll turn to the rest of the party. Have any of you anything else you would like to accomplish here?
No, I'm very interested in what I've seen here as well. Thank you for showing us.
All right.
Your work is most
Can
impressive.
I make a technology check to see how much I've actually comprehended while watching?
Sure.
Observing?
You actually, being that it's robotics and things of that nature, you kind of get the general idea, Korn, of like what's happening here. You're actually pretty impressed. You have enough knowledge about droids and things of that nature that this is pretty damn impressive.
Excellent.
I
I wanted to hopefully comprehend the awe and not just be like, whoa.
Yeah, Osk and Talrax, I don't know how you guys are. You guys bored or?
No.
Actually,
I'm really interested too because I'm a force tech person, so like I have a really good technology skill. So that's what I was gonna just ask too. Is there a way that I
go ahead,
could
both
see
of you want to make a check to see if it's
if he's done anything that maybe reacts with the force in a different way? Because droids really, other than Grievous, to my knowledge, they don't.
Yeah,
so maybe this causes a different reaction.
Yeah, you can make a technology check.
one thing I would. Oh, sorry.
Talrax, I mean, you get what he's doing. Again, you're impressed too. It doesn't really correlate to what you're trying to do with the force and stuff. Grim, you just understand everything that's going on. I know it's not maybe your forte, but I mean, you get it. All of you understand what's happening. God, you guys rolled really well.
Well, yeah, holy crap.
Yeah. Even Osk is sitting there is fascinated and looking at this. So as well as you guys roll and understand it, you guys all have a really good, more of a basic understanding. There's some stuff that's a little bit over your head.
What I was mainly going to ask a question about was the reaction times of these droids, compared to like the droids he's seen in the past.
From what you can gather, these things are incredibly their dexterity, agility. When you saw the demonstration, the thing moved like you've never seen anything move before, and it moved inhumanly. So it could do things that a human being could not do.
Out of character, sorry, Ranger. This is giving me so much shades of the Dark Trooper project. It's not even funny.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Out of character knowledge.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. What do you guys?
Joran, perhaps if you could just direct us to the officers' mess. We've been off-world for a rather long time, and I just think it would be nice to get a nice meal.
Yeah, it says he kind of directs it to you where you can find the officer mess.
Oh, thank you very much, John. It's an absolute pleasure to have met you. And I look forward to our next meeting.
All right. So that's done. You guys head back down. Yeah, you guys are able to see the officer's mess and stuff. It's easy enough to find. You guys go down to the main lobby. You're able to ascertain where the officer mess is, and then you guys see a building across the way. You see the same thing I told the other guys, and when you go in, you can see there's officers of different ranks, mainly from your rank lieutenant commander to even a captain or two. Not as many people in here, but you get a sense that, yeah.
Will I recognize any unit insignias or any insignias for the Third Fleet?
Make it a perception check.
It's good, Betty.
God, I wish it was better perception. Yep, nope.
It can't get any worse than that.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Think,
I'm still drooling over the new droid.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you have no idea why, but you feel like, those droids are just completely on your mind, and you're like, yeah.
I'll give
You need a new set of pants, and not because they got shot.
That's right.
Not bad. I don't know if I'm able to see anything going on. I'm particularly looking for people
not really. I mean, you don't see any Sith or anything in here, so you're kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking for. Yeah, if there's
really not
else.
really. No, you're like, okay, I guess there's some stuff here. Not really. Nothing pops into your peripheral of anything like Sith wise or anything like that. So, but you guys want to get something to eat, or?
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta eat.
All right. So you guys get something to eat, and yeah, you get some food and sit down, and you guys are able to cordially get some food. All right, back to the other group. You guys are finishing your meal. What else are you guys going to do?
I mean, I think once we finish eating, we never really set a place to meet up again. So
no,
I
you
would
didn't.
say we probably go back to the transport once we're done.
Yeah.
All right, you guys go to the transport. Are you guys, the other group, are you guys looking to do anything other than grab a bite to eat? Well, you try, but you horribly failed.
The other group, you mean the Vornu group?
The Vornu group.
Oh no, yeah, for food, we'd be just going back to the transport as well.
Yeah. Is there anything else of interest in the building?
Not really. It's really, really nice.
Or...
Officers have it good, is what you figure out.
Maybe I would just stop into, like, if there's a quartermaster.
Stop at the gift shop.
Yeah, but I would probably stop at the quartermaster and requisition as many really high-end, impressive-looking scientific things for this lab I now have to set up to.
Yeah, you're able to get it.
Set up the lab.
You're not able to find some. You're not able to find any of the stuff you saw in there, but you're able to get as close to it as possible, and you're able to ascertain and order it in and get it in.
Please send it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it'll take about a week or two to get that over there to you.
All right.
About a week at the most. With all the gear, it'll come in 5 to 7 days. All right, so you guys get done, and after you visit the quartermaster, you guys go back up to the transport, and you guys are back at your transport.
Okay. I guess I don't know if they're gonna get there before us or after us.
You're there before they are.
Can I don't know if I'd be able to find this. I would like to try to use Space Google and see if I can find
the HoloNet. Quit calling it Space Google.
Oh, sorry, Spoogle. So I'm gonna look up Spoogle.
No.
What? I'm just gonna see if there is any other, maybe more public, because I'm not gonna be able to hack into the systems, but any public news or anything I can find just in general about anything happening with shipments, in particular related to the 7th Fleet.
No, you're not able to find anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I just spend some time looking up the insignias that I was observing and see if I can better correlate them so I can try and learn that?
Sure. You now have a better understanding of how the military operates.
Cool. Did it? I guess in hindsight, would I have noticed like, oh, those were different, like, you know?
Yes,
assignments
hindsight, you're
and
like,
fleets.
oh yeah, those were those guys, and this was, oh, okay.
Could I look up information also about Grinnin?
Yeah. Do an investigation check.
20.
I mean, you find basic information. You find his past exploits, things of that nature. More of a politician than anything. He was a soldier at one point. He's been on the fleets for a while in his early years. Some notoriety, nothing extraordinary, but you can see through the public records of some of his actions, and mainly just you get snippets of postings of information, you know, like news articles about, you know, him for each of his higher ranks that he achieved, like when he was climbing up the ranks of the admirals, and then when he became designated as Grand Moth, that kind of thing, his appointment. You see that he...
Wait. I'm not looking up Bacane. I'm looking up Grinnin, the ensign that we...
Oh, you find nothing.
Oh,
you're talking
okay.
about Bacane again.
No, I am going to look up stuff about Bacane, but this last one was for Grinnin, just to see any information on it. Okay, but then for Bacane, he was a soldier, no notoriety, politician, and then just his rise to the ranks.
Yeah. There's nothing on that guy. You don't have anything on him.
Okay. I'm mainly just trying to figure out his first name. So.
Unless you get into military records, you're gonna have to use some either backwater channels, or you're gonna have to get one of your friends in the military to give you some information to look it up for you, because you're not able to access that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So we can't find any references to the 7th Fleet at all. Is that?
I mean, you find on the HoloNet, you know, past information about the 7th Fleet being created, and you know, it's christening and things of that nature. But you're not going to find anything else like that.
Can we see like who's commanding it, like who the Grand Moff is over the 7th Fleet?
Yeah. That's easy enough to find. It is actually another woman. It's a female. It's a actual Chiss woman. Grand Moff. Hold on, I'm trying to see which name I want to go with here.
Yeah, no worries. We put you on the spot with names.
Actually, I'm not liking that. Give me a second. Come on. There you go. The name is Glos Guam Atau, and that's spelled Glozz apostrophe GUAM apostrophe AITTO.
GLOZZ apostrophe GUAM apostrophe AITTO.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Glos Guam Atau. So it's just all one word.
So it would just be that's her first name, but the last name Atau would be Grand Moff Atau.
Okay.
Gotta love
So
those
it's
simple
like
chiss
Guam.
names.
They're complicated. That's when you said that. I'm like, oh Jesus.
Sorry. So usually it's like Guam, like instead of Mithran Euroto, the shorthand. Like you use the middle part, right?
Yeah. They usually never use the first name. It's always the middle name, for informal things. But the last name is always given as their rank. That's military.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, you would say Grand Moff Guam Atau, AITTO.
Cool. That's all I want to look up for now until we reconvene with those guys. I don't know, Moth, if there's anything you're curious about, we can try and search for you on the HoloNet. Definitely not Space Google.
Not Space Google, it's Spoogle. But yeah.
No, I can't think of anything.
That disembodied head told me it wasn't Space Google.
Finn, you lose a force point. You're such a turd. All right, the other group, you get done eating, you get back to the transport. You guys all meet up. What do you do now?
Now we share.
We share.
Not anywhere in public.
Well, you get on your transport and you start heading back, so you can start talking there.
I will
So
use my wrist
sharing
computer to make
information
sure that the thing isn't bugged.
All right, make an investigation check.
Jesus Christ.
You say with certainty that this thing is not bugged.
Can I insight check that?
Yes, make an insight check. You know Vornu is absolutely mentally damaged at the moment.
Can I give a quick once over as well then?
All right, make a quick once over. Yeah, you don't find anything.
Okay.
With the history of this group, can I investigate Vornu's pants to see if anything has infiltrated her mind through her pants?
Finn, you lose another dark side point.
Wow.
What? If there was anything
Investigate
that was
her pants, really?
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to go back to headquarters, to the HR division, in order to go file a complaint.
You get something on your wrist pad there, Dar, that you have got a sexual harassment suit filed against you from unknown source.
Hey, you look good. What can I say?
I give him a snide look. I'll see you at the end of your shift.
I now post a sexual harassment suit against Talrax.
Talrax, you get a sexual harassment suit filed against you from an unknown source. It happens all of a sudden, but then again, it says at the bottom you're Sith. You don't give a shit.
I turn to Videstra, be like, honey, they're not always like this. They're a little strange.
They're normally worse.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
That is true.
Jayla, you get a sexual harassment suit on your wristband as well.
I think we have a name for our group, but besides that, so what did you guys find? You guys went into that fancy building for a while.
Wouldn't you like to know? I signed an NDA.
Oh,
Unfortunately, that stuff can't be disclosed, but it could lead to problems. I'll leave it there.
So the only thing that we can tell you is I found, hopefully, my future ex-husband.
He was attractive.
Vornu's into the nerds, you know.
Yeah.
well, I'm
thing.
putting that whole statement together, and since you said ex-husband, I'm assuming you're gonna marry for the settlement at the end. So I'm piecing things together here. But okay.
Perhaps former
can't
husband.
settle
He
when
is
they're dead.
considerably older than me.
Sorry, what?
The only
Just
thing
kind
you're
of
able,
like the
you
idea
guys
of
know
widow.
from what you signed that it's up to you if you want to break it. It's only if it's found out that you broke it that you can be punished for it. It's classified.
I'm not prying though. I'm not really prying.
You can say who you visited, but you can't discuss from what you saw inside. You can say where you went and that you found information, but you can't discuss like anything you saw.
Is it
unless you want to? Again, this is your group.
We're not gonna play Pictionary, Darafin.
No. Is this gonna
maybe charades?
Does what you find? Do you think that it's a reason why decaying is bad?
Oh yes.
Okay. Did you happen to hear or come across anything about the 7th Fleet?
Not that I recall.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. While you guys were, on your top secret mission, more about that later. We made a few friends at the local cantina. No one of high-ranking note, but it seems at least the official paperwork seems to indicate the missing supplies are ending up with the 7th Fleet due to a logistical error.
And the 3rd Fleet is getting more supplies and seems odd. Not sure if it's intentionally being done this way, so the 3rd Fleet is hoarding resources. If there is something going on at the 7th Fleet, something is definitely odd about things going missing so frequently related to the 7th Fleet.
So, wait, you're saying supplies that are supposed to be going to the 7th Fleet are actually going to the 3rd Fleet?
No. Supplies that are supposed to go to the 3rd Fleet are being resent to the 3rd Fleet because they're saying the original shipment went to the 7th.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure if they're actually going to the 7th or if that's what's being reported, and the 3rd Fleet is trying to gather extra resources through kind of these dubious administrative means. I don't know what's going on there, but there is something funky going on there.
So I want to go onto my wrist computer,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to pull up Eshiv, and I want to see if I can find out who the Moth in charge of the 7th Fleet is.
They already have that information.
We know that name. We got that.
Okay.
Yeah, the name is Glaz Guam Ito.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I happen to know this other Chiss female?
Yes, you know who she is. She's a very famous female Chiss. She's one of the first since Thrawn to make Red Admiral, and she's the first female Chiss ever to make the title Grand Moff.
She's likely a big deal, and I wonder if there's a way we could see some of the shipping manifests, perhaps what they've been receiving versus what the 3rd Fleet claims was redirected to them. I'd be curious to know if the supplies actually made it to the 7th Fleet.
Do you happen to know what sorts of supplies?
Appear to be standard supplies from what we gathered.
I don't know the specifics, but it seemed like rations and other various parts. Nothing out of the ordinary that we've come across so far. But that could also be an affront. We just don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we did have things hiding in our crates and stuff too. When we first went, right? We had those little spy droids in our spice that eventually took over our ship. So who knows what else they were smuggling with the rations if they are trying to do something.
That might be where we need to start our investigation, is at the 7th Fleet.
Yeah,
Well, I would want to see if you can get into just regular administrative paperwork and maybe see if there are multiple shipments that are getting resent, and if the 7th is the link, or is the 3rd the link, or are they both the link. That may help us, because it is possible that the 7th Fleet may be getting, I mean, if there is something wrong going on here, it's possible that there's a paper trail set up to frame the 7th Fleet.
Well, that also could be our way to get to the 3rd Fleet without,
But I would,
being,
I would say let's see if we can find the paper trail first before we go to the 7th Fleet. I have no skills in getting into our system.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, I know you can't talk about what you've seen, but did you have any clues, any options from your visit at the tower to get us in with the 3rd Fleet? Maybe inspect some of their droid.
You don't
that was
know
your
about the
plan,
droids.
right?
Oh, you're talking droids in general. Okay.
Yeah, not the specific.
Plan earlier was.
I don't know about the specific droids. Just the plan earlier was the general, C3 units or whatever they have on board that might need upgrades or maintenance from Vorna.
Vorna.
Sorry, I think I caught Vorna eating.
Well, in a week or so, Dr. Jaron is going to pay a visit to my, as of right now, basically non-existent robotics lab. How much can I say?
So we need to find a way to get you a robotics lab.
Well, I already requisitioned a large amount of equipment, and
okay.
When we return back, I do think that perhaps what we should do is consult with our Moth and let Moth Babar know what we have already discovered.
We have to be careful on that. If what you're saying is that this is whatever you saw is tied to the 3rd Fleet, and our Moth wants nothing tied back to her, giving this information to her could be potentially hazardous.
That would be a bad idea.
But I do think that
Vorna, you understand that, Grant. The reason you even got access to that is because you threw her name around. She might want to know that you did that.
Yeah, that's why I would want to.
Oh yeah, good point.
Oh, you gave your name?
Well, when we were asked which Moth we are under, I don't think it would be a good idea to go and lie to the receptionist with access to all military personnel records. So we told the truth.
So we have to be careful. Now we've used the Grand Moth's name.
But here's the thing. Absolutely nothing that we have done thus far in any way appears out of the ordinary. I am in charge of establishing for Moth Babar her robotics division. And all I did was go and reach out to the foremost authority on droids and robotics and simply start seeking some advice on the best way to start such a division. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Pretty good cover story.
Did he see all of you? All of you?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe when it comes time, we might want to make sure we have some plausible deniability where maybe whatever we do in order to take down the Kane, we do in a week's time, and you 4 are maybe at the base. And if there is something to do in order to take him down, the rest of us can be there, so nothing gets linked back to you and the Grand Moth.
I think that we may need to.
You're overthinking it.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, you're overthinking. Remember.
Okay. Yeah, you knew nothing about what was actually discovered there, nor did we know what we were gonna, discover.
Oh, I know. I have no idea. That's why we're perfect to be staying over there. But if they spot you over there and whatever you saw,
said, I'm developing an ice cream machine cone, and now you're saying, oh, we can't talk about this ice cream machine cone maker.
No, you said it had. I asked you if it had something to do with what we're trying to figure out about Bicane, and you said yes. So if an ice cream machine has something to do with it,
no, none of you guys have any ideas.
Oh, well, that's what I asked first. I asked, do you think it has something to do with it?
This has related to the 3rd Fleet and 7th Fleet. The only thing you understand is that your group, Vornu, is that this is just technology that was developed for the Sith Chess Empire. It's just being, the 3rd Fleet is just the guinea pig fleet that these droids will be used for. That's all you know.
Our mission is to take out Bicane, but figure out why he's corrupt.
Our mission is to prove
if he is corrupt.
Right. We don't know if it's even him yet. Right. Like you're jumping to conclusions.
So, I mean, of all things, certainly the technology that is now being experimented with in his fleet. Certainly, if you're going to give away information and commit espionage and treason, that's a doozy of a thing to give away.
Yeah.
So in that respect, I think that it would be connected, and I think that that's probably something to see how much Moth Bear knows.
Okay.
Moth Bear also pretty easily might be able to say, "No, the 7th Fleet's getting ready for a deep deployment. That's why they're getting extra supplies. So we should share all this information with Moth Bear."
Okay. I'll trust you. I don't know what you saw or how it relates, so I will trust your judgment on it.
All right.
Now
so
we could use this to our advantage as well.
How so?
I mean, I'm not too good at lying. How are you at lying, my friend?
Jallo is good
Talrax?
at lying.
She is not a Sith. Or he is not a Sith.
He doesn't have to be a Sith. He was good at lying.
I'm almost as
Doesn't-
good at lying as I am at athletic endeavors.
I mean, I'm decent at it. Not great, but decent.
Why would we want to be lying right now?
Yeah, what is your thought, Osk? I mean, I certainly have ways of gathering information, but I'm not sure.
The Sith also have ways of doing their own stuff. I'm sure should 2 Sith Lords request to view the proceedings of said things we cannot discuss on behalf of the Empire, they would not refuse us. You do not say no to a Sith, except for our friend back there, the Moth. She was up.
With the manner in which the Empire operates, the Sith themselves are not all powerful within the military. They may not necessarily
The way
just grant you in.
you guys all understand it, it is mutual sharing of power, right? The heads of state are as an elected parliamentary figure and a Sith who's designated as the most powerful Sith. They rule jointly. They also sit on a council that is equally distributed between 4 other Sith and 4 other Moths, right? That have reached that status of the council. There's still Moths, that Grand Moths that do other things that are not on the council, but and then you have a parliament that's set up as well. So there is a mutual sharing of power. You guys know through your history through this Chiss Empire, this was mutually because both sides saw that they could be mutually beneficial to one another in the sense that the Sith have an issue of backstabbing and screwing shit up all the time, and the Chiss are too militaristic and their thinking and things of that nature. So it was a kind of a perfect blend of 2 sides that balance each other out for mutual goals. That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess at this point, and by the way, Vono, I'm quite excited we're getting a robotics facility. I'd love to help set that up.
No, you're more than capable, and you usually could.
Yeah, but so we'll
Going to need the help.
Yeah, well, I'm your man, but I think our best lead right now on potential evidence on who, if anyone, is helping the rebels maybe to track down these shipment manifests. Find out where the supplies are going. That may lead us to our culprit here.
So could we do are you able to do like a search on any manifest where the same thing has been sent twice to the same ship within a matter of a couple weeks?
We may need some additional access. I don't think I can just.
Well, I would ask Vornu
access,
if
right?
she could.
I can try with my contacts.
So these are, I think, just regular administrative, right? We must do a mass search. You wouldn't search anything specific to the 3rd and the 7th, right? So we just do kind of another generic search where hopefully we would have that information and we can just make note of it.
We can try, and also I can reach out to my my new friend, and perhaps he could provide some records. Although we need to tread lightly on what we ask for, not to tip our hand.
So I guess could Vornu do a HoloNet search for?
You would do a military search, and you just so if you want to do a general search, you can pull up like records for acquisitions of basic supplies for
like
all
requisition
fleets
reports
for the last month. You can do it directed like that. So, and then you'd have to search through for the specific things that you're looking for. I mean, that's one way of kind of covering up.
Okay, so
If that's what you're trying to do. I just kind of get the gist of what you're trying to do is to make sure that it's such a broad search that it'd be kind of hard to pinpoint like somebody's looking at something specific.
But with the filter that the same thing is going to the same ship.
So when
recently.
you pull the records, you make this mass dump, right? It goes to your computer. You separate it out. You're looking at your data pad. Then you filter out and you see the transactions, the date that the original stuff was ordered, the date that it was received, somehow the shipment going out, but somewhere along the lines, and you can't find out how, it was directed toward the 7th Fleet. You didn't see a new acquisition saying, hey, we didn't get our shit, and then a new requisition for the same supplies being sent by the 3rd Fleet. You're also able to see the messaging of people yelling at each other, basically emails going back and forth like what the F, people yelling and screaming at each other. The captain of the one vessel yelling at the other one, like, give us our supplies. Like, well, they're already here. We're going to keep them. Kiss my ass. And the other guy's like, how dare you? The kind of stuff.
So in these data, we can see that the 7th Fleet did receive the supplies?
As far as you know, it says they were received.
Gotcha, okay.
No comments from the 7th Fleet in that kind of list of emails back and forth.
Other than them saying, well, we got them, we're just going to keep them tough.
Oh, but they did say we got them, is what I'm...
Yeah, because the 3rd Fleet reached out to the 7th saying, hey, that was meant for us, give us our stuff. And they're like, no, we're just going to keep it. It'd be too much of a pain in the ass to do that. Just order some more stuff. And they're like, fine, because then they start throwing red tape at each other, and then the 3rd Fleet just figured, you know what, it'd just be easier if we just went and got the damn stuff ordered again, instead of dealing with these dickholes.
Okay.
Can we tell, are all of these misdirected shipments originating out of the same supply depot, or are they out of multiple supply depots?
Yeah, it's out of the shipyards. There's a supply chain set up in the shipyards on one of the major docks, military docks, that tracks all supply requisitions, and that goes everything for the military. That goes with uniforms, that goes with droids, that goes with weapons. Anything that's requisite for supplies goes through this area. Bigger stuff like ships and stuff, like tanks, things of that nature, is another area, another set of docks. But this was not part of the shipment that was initially ordered. This is basic supply, like droid parts for the ship, parts for computers, some other things like that along those lines that went to the 7th Fleet, and they were like, well, it just saves us making another order. We're just going to keep this, just order some more. This basically was the response to the 3rd Fleet.
Can we tell if it's happened more than once, or is it just this one shipment that we're kind of
Make an investigation check, Vornu.
$25.
Yay!
For the timeline that you looked at, you're not seeing anything there. You would have to get a bigger timeline and then compare and look for stuff like that. This is just for this time period that you look for. But in that time period, you're not seeing anything like that.
So just this one.
Yeah.
All the stuff that I just ordered.
And there's tons of other shipments, too, that were sent, too. And in this time, you see normal shipments of everything else went fine. There's no issues. I mean, there's issues of like you find of like, hey, we ordered this much, but you only sent this much, or we didn't receive this, or you sent us too much of this here and there, but nothing that stands out to you like this whole shipment thing.
Everything that I just ordered for the robotics lab, would that be going through this same supply depot?
No, this is actually a different depot, still under the military, but this deals more with for this kind of this is like a science and technology kind of division that will give you the parts and stuff.
Okay, but so the one that we're looking at, where all the stuff diverted from the 3rd to the 7th Fleet, is a different.
Yeah,
Supply chain.
there's like many depots that handle specific things, which makes sense to you, right? They have certain things that they're in charge of handling, that they are in charge of tracking and maintaining and hoarding and then sending and then getting more and then cataloging. And each one of these depots has that capability, but they
That
have
makes
a
sense.
limited.
I was just looking for an
They each have a
excuse to go and
limited.
visit.
They have each have a limited focus of like what they are specifically designed to focus in on, like vehicles, general supplies, technology, things like that.
Okay. So this supply depot where this seems to have occurred, what is their reach of materials?
The general stuff covers a lot of grounds: foods, uniforms, basic parts for inside the ship. Ship components themselves, like engines, things of that nature, is in the ship depot. That's another depot that you go for, and that deals with anything from the Star Destroyers to the fighters. There's a depot for those kind of things, like the engines, weapons, things of that nature. But this covers mainly parts with droids. This is a general supply depot.
Vornu, are you able to figure out where all the fleets are stationed? And how close really the 3rd and the 7th are? And whether this could actually have been a clerical error?
Can I?
Nope.
No.
So we don't know where the 3rd fleet is compared to the 7th fleet.
Make an intelligence check, Vornu.
22.
It occurs to you, if you just asked your Grand Moff, she would know all this.
We should go and report to our Moth. Ask Moth Babear what some of this is.
Okay. I was thinking it would be nice if we could get this to her beforehand, but yeah, she might know it. Okay.
She's a Moth. That's kind of her job to know this.
Okay. I guess we'll stay out of the room because I guess what you're discussing is confidential. So I'll let you.
It's certainly sensitive.
Mhm.
I'll
leave you be. If she will stay nearby, if she does allow us to enter, then I'll let the Grand Moff decide.
Yeah, I would say that more than likely, I suppose in theory, she may not even be cleared for this. But let us go. Korn, if you would mind just driving us back, please.
Make a piloting check.
Woohoo!
He flies with his feet. He saw how good he's done. You guys get back with your information, and that's where we're going to end today's episode. So, think about what you want to discuss with Grand Moff Bavar next episode, and that's where we'll pick it up next. Is the Chamber of the Moth. What they've learned and where they go from here. So if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed our D&D session.
After Corn spoke, I want ice cream.
We'll go get some ice cream, man.
I know, I need to get ice cream now.
Nothing stopping you.
Yeah,
I mean, now there's like secret ice cream
it's
too.
Your
like
world.
here where
Yeah,
there's
it's
like
your
secret
world, Finn.
doors.
You can do anything you want.
I know. Now I want secret ice cream. I have to go see if there's like ice cream hidden in my freezer somewhere.
I don't know if I'd eat that.
Yeah, they're asking about ice cream in the chat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
Corinth brought up ice cream, and now everyone wants ice cream.
Sure.
Yay.
So science. So, but make sure you subscribe if you like the content. Give us a thumbs up. It's always important. And with that, we'll be back next Sunday, hopefully for some more Star Wars D&D fun. So on behalf of myself and everybody here, thank you so much for joining us. Guys, be safe out there with everything that's happening on, especially in the USA. Just be safe. Also, with coronavirus, we keep stressing it. Wash your hands, wear your mask, wear your gloves, keep your social distancing. We'd like to keep you guys around watching us. So, if you need stuff to keep your mind off things, we'll be streaming. So we'll be back tomorrow with more lunch stream and more GAC, fight action for Cabber, and the other games we're playing. We'll have marbles tomorrow night. So lots of stuff for you guys to watch and have fun with. So have a great rest of your night, and we will holler at you later. Peace out.